Hey friends, we're on location today. Of course, you know I'm Angela, and look who we have today. Francisco Almonte from DBL Cigars.
Look at this. And that's for you.
Thank you, Angela, for the invitation. For me, it's an honor to be with you and the rest of the guys. Hi, guys. We are Francisco from DBL Cigars, and for me, it's an honor to have a nice conversation today with you.
Oh, thank you. I mean, it's my pleasure, my pleasure. So we are smoking something exclusive today, right? I mean, these are your premium hand-rolled cigars. I'm going to have Francisco tell us all about it, but he's already lit. I need to cut and light because this is a treat for me because I haven't had this one yet. Tell us about it. Tell us about it.
Well, this is something that I decided to brought it for this special Christmas event with all my guys and family, and to have a great time with something that we never had in the past. It's a tobacco that in the whole history in Dominican Republic, most of our tobacco is more medium body, with a lot of bunch of flavors and sweetness, smooth. But this is a tobacco that I get impressed with the black peppery taste and the spiciness that it has. So it's something that is coming soon, and I'm working in some new cigar to release next year. And you know, Royce was last month with us in the factory in the DBR tool number 8, and he was trying this tobacco. He said, Francisco, why we don't bring some tobacco or this blend for the Christmas party? I said, absolutely yes. So I brought like 100 cigars of this to share with my people here and get a good feedback about the blend and everything. The people that have tried this tobacco, they love it. So I hope the rest of the people that is gonna try tonight, they tried, and you know, I know they're gonna like it because there is a bunch of people that like full body here. Mm-hmm. So let's see what they said about it. But I can't wait to release these cigars next year.
Oh, that's exciting. So you're saying this is the most full-bodied cigar you've put out? Is that what you're trying to say, or not really?
When you talk about black peppery spicy, you must talk about Pennsylvania tobacco, Nicaragua tobacco. You get a bunch of spicy and peppery tobacco, but it's not common in our country to get that. You know, we got a more smooth, balanced, medium to full body, but this tobacco you can compare with any tobacco around the world in spicy and peppery taste, and it's just amazing. I'm in love with these cigars, and I think this is gonna be a great tobacco that people is gonna enjoy in the future.
All right, so I'm sure we've seen lots of information and interviews with you already online, but what I need to know is, because I know this is generational for you, is that correct?
Yes.
But do you remember the age you were when, like, the scent of the cigar kind of tickled your fancy, and you knew, like, your love for cigars, it wasn't just, you know, hereditary, but more, it went to the next level? Like, were you a teen? Were you more a young adult?
Imagine you are for a town in Dominican Republic that you had two opportunities. You got to you only had two choices, baseball or cigars. Imagine a town that only have about 90,000 people, that's our population, and we got over 178 cigar factories. There is no town around the world that have more cigar factory than Tamboril, which belong to Santiago de los Caballeros in the north of the country in Dominican Republic. Right. Imagine that. So I'm the third generation in my family. So my dad, he was the owner of the king, el rey, which does it in Spanish.
If you don't know, this is the man right here for Dominican cigars.
Exactly. So imagine that while I was in school, when I come back from school every day, my dad has the factory in the living room. Mm-hmm. So I had to help him. So I begin getting in love and begin getting some knowledge and skills about the cigars. So my dad used to sell cigars locally, and he was very tough. When I tried to, at the age of 7, I began working with him. I was in the second level second grade at school, and I began learning with him. So all the scratch tobacco, I had to sort that tobacco, and then we make like a short filler cigars with the scratch tobacco. So I begin that way.
Yeah, that's what I assume because see, I came up in delis. What do you call that? Just like a delicatessen bodega.
It's like a bodega.
Yeah,
Or
well, what is a true sandwich shop name in your?
in Dominican, they call colmado,
Okay, that's what-
colmado or mini market
Mi-
or,
yeah,
or colmado,
Colmado, yeah.
or they call supermercado. But supermercado is when it's bigger. But mini market, they call colmado.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because so same with me. When I was a little girl, I was helping customers and making the salads and stuff. But that's the thing. There's a difference, I think, between sometimes when your dad is telling you, you kind of have, if you know what I mean, like your love for it also now has to come from you now. Is
But
what I,
once again, our goal first is to play baseball because that's the biggest opportunity that we can have. As you know, the first income in our country is tourism. Then is the people that live outside the country. For example, in New York, we got over 1 million Dominican people. So just to give you an idea, during the pandemic, we support all the family because they wasn't working, and we sent over 14,000 millions dollars.
Yeah.
So to support our family, and that's the second income. The third income is manufacturing, and cigar is a very important income in Dominican Republic.
yeah, well, thank you for that. We like the background information. So, what more can you tell us? That you said you were 14, I think. No, 7. And then how old were you when you first really took it over?
When I got the 12 years old, I began making some perrito. Perrito is little dog that we call in Dominican. It's a like a Corona size 44 by 5.5 inch, but it doesn't use mold. It's made by hand, but you don't need to put the mold. So most of the cigars that you see, when you work with the filler and the binder, you have to put into a mold and press
Yeah, I like
for around 24 hours. Next day, you put the last leaf, which is the wrapper, and is the more important leaf. When you made the little dog, the perrito,
Yeah.
you don't need to use a mold. You made the bunch with the filler and binder, and immediately you put the wrapper.
Yeah.
So that was what I learned how to work with my dad. But when I got 17, I went to Fuente Factory, and I began learning all the processes from fermentation, production, aging process, and I learned everything with them.
Yeah.
So, it was an international company that arrived in the 77 in Dominican, and I began learning in the 94, 96, 97 was the last time, and we spent like 3-4 years working with Fuente, and I learned all the processes, all the vitola, and then I became a supervisor training new cigar rollers.
Yeah.
And they have a big project with me because I was in college, and they want me to become the production manager in one of the new locations that they have. Don't forget, the cigar boom was at that time.
Yes.
When
When you said the year, my mind went to that, the cigar boom.
the cigar boom, so a lot of people was smoking cigar.
You were 17,
I was 17,
thereabout.
So I was in college where I was working with Fuente.
Yeah.
So I was studying industrial engineering.
Yeah.
And then I became after I got my bachelor degree, I began working with LFD, La Flor Dominicana.
Yes, yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so, it goes without saying, it speaks for itself. Francisco knows, it's basically you're born into it, and it's in the back of your mind, in your subconscious, in your soul. That's what I love at
It's in my
DBL.
soul.
Yeah.
It's something that it's not a job for me. It's something that I love. Sometimes the people ask me, are you the owner of the company? Because you rolling cigars. I said, listen, I'm a cigar roller. This is what I learned my whole life. I only have one job in my life, and it's cigars. And we got over 68 members in my family that know how to make cigars. And I don't know if there is another family in the whole world, but we love cigars. And unfortunately, I wasn't very good playing baseball, so I followed my dad. Then I went Fuente, and I get in love with cigars. And you don't have any idea, the more important people that I ever met in my life is because of cigars.
Yeah, I know. It does create the cigar community from the Dominican here in America and New York. It's wild, and it just keeps growing exponentially, I feel, because in this community, I mean, it's a great thing. So that's why we're pleased to have you on.
It is amazing. Imagine that with the cigar boom, with people begin smoking like Jordan, Clinton, Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone. They love cigars. Everybody wants to put a cigar into their mouth. But there is another cigar boom now. Ladies are smoking a lot of cigars, and worldwide. Now in Asia, in Africa, places that they don't used to smoke cigars, that they used to smoke cigarette back in the day, now they're starting to smoke cigar, and it's crazy. It's a big demand where everybody want to smoke a cigar.
I feel like we're in a boom right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And
It started like, would you say the pandemic? I feel like maybe part of what happened in the pandemic, people were home and I don't know, they had a little bit more time maybe on their back porch to kind of discover more. And I found a lot of the ladies tell me, their husbands, this and that, were smoking, had more time a little bit to smoke on their back porch, and they sort of joined them. They were, you know what I mean? They were kind of home together for a minute, and that's what I'm finding people tell me here.
The world changed after the pandemic. During the pandemic, there was a bunch of stress, and the people want to relax. It was a lot of things going on. They want to relax, and they want to have time to relax and put the stress out. So people smoke a lot of cigars. It was very tough. I don't want that happen, but for the cigar industry, it was pro. We make a good business during that time. Just to let you know that because of the pandemic, we built our own cigar factory. And it's something that I'm very thankful, and we do a lot of business during that time.
Yes, and then when did that go up? In 2022, 2023?
Well, in 2021, I started building the factory.
Right away, basically right away.
2020, at the end of 2022, we were finishing on. But in 2024, we done 100%, including a cigar lounge inside the cigar factory. That is not normal in cigar factory.
I know, yeah.
And one of the reasons that I decided to do that is because there is a lot of tourists that go in Dominican. Just to give you an idea, we're getting about 11 million this year. Last year, we hit 10 million.
11, 10 minutes. Yeah, I was going to say, because, so you're giving tours, of course.
Exactly. So I'm giving tours to the people, and after we give you the tours,
the information.
you sit down, smoke a cigar, relax with a nice wine of a Presidente beer, a nice Brugal rum, of a Barcelona rum, and you have a great time 24/7, only for tourists or our customer. So you can go anytime, you go with your fingerprint, you have access 24/7, and this is only a private club, only for our family and our people.
Oh, so we can't do tourism, we can't buy a ticket, or there's two separate areas? People can sign up for your tour?
As soon as you smoke a DBL, you are in. So you are a DBL smoker, so immediately you have access to the
You heard it here first, right? So smoke your DBLs and get access.
Exactly. So it is something that all the profit that we got there is going to support the facility and support the daycare that we're working on. That we're starting the construction on January, and it's going to be something very special. I can't wait. I think it's the biggest dream that I have in my life, because I really want to see the employees' kids that we are taking care and showing them how much sacrifice all their parents do to keep them healthy and to keep them educated. And I think if you want to change the world, you have to start it from the beginning. And that's really important for me.
Oh, 100%. 100%. So just due to time, because now we're having a rolling event right here at the Iron Horse Lounge, with Francisco. He's about to. Are you going to be? We have the you have the tobacco to roll these for the people today, or no? We're doing something different.
I brought like 100
Oh, you did say that. Yeah.
for this, and because
Yeah.
I want that everybody try this tobacco.
100%.
But I suggest that you should eat before smoking this cigar, because otherwise you're gonna be a little dizzy.
So is this a puro, a Dominican puro today?
It's 100% from our tobacco field, and it's a hybrid between two tobacco seed. And we begin growing that tobacco in 2014. And with the time and the experience that we begin getting from this, because it's something new, I get amazed with this. I couldn't believe that we got that strength on this tobacco and flavor, and I'm really happy with this tobacco.
Okay. Yeah, I'm happy too. So I'm so glad we're going to enjoy this today. So I want to thank you for coming. I want to thank you for subscribing. I'm so pleased to have Francisco sitting beside me. And do you have any last words you want to say goodbye?
Well, when people said to me, "Are you a cigar roller, Francisco?" I say, "Yes, I'm a cigar roller and make people happy." And this is my plan. As I said before, the more beautiful people that I had met in my life come from Cigar Lounge. And I would like to say, Roy, thank you so much from Iron Horse, that he had been our customer, and not customer, he's part of our family, and he had been supporting our people in Dominica. He's one of the best customers we have, and he has a big compromise with the people, with the Haitian people that work in our company and our Dominican people. So I'm very glad to meet Roy in 2015 in New Orleans, and for me it's a pleasure, Roy. Thank you, Roy.
Yeah, he's off camera, but I'm going to put a picture because you just came back from the Dominican, right? We're going to have a tiny bit of footage we'll put here. So again, thank you so much, Francisco. Thank you for joining. Thanks to Roy. Thanks to Jesse. Thanks to Josh for filming this today. And we'll see you. I always say we'll see you next time. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, Angela.
Thank you.